Hello, beloved friends. Thank you for joining me. I'm Rajith with One Illumined Heart. This is day 8 of the cosmic wave of divine love that is being gifted to us as human beings on the planet. And today's subject is going to be forgiving others. You want to stay tuned to this one because not forgiving others, condemning, judging, and cursing others, you end up cursing yourself and or harming yourself with negativity. It's like a boomerang in your field. So let's get clear on how to cleanse that out of our bodies. And I just want to remind everybody that the 3 days of the forgiveness process, as we did already, self-forgiveness, and that was day 6. Day 7, which was yesterday, was on forgiving God, and today it's on forgiving others. So that includes even the world in which we live. So I hope my computer doesn't fall down and go boom. All right. So one of the things we need to know is that this time that we're in is a divine opportunity to allow greater love, greater light to move through our body and push out that which doesn't serve us. We're at a push to come shove time here on the planet. People are choosing, if they've not already chosen, they're busy choosing. Am I going to move up into fifth dimensional reality, into a place of love and brotherhood? Or am I going to move up, stay where I am? And both choices are fine because everybody has their own lessons and their own evolution to move into. But in this process, we are offered the opportunity to have so much love come into all of ourselves. And in order for us to move fully into the fifth dimensional reality, giving ourselves the divine that we are connected to and created by, permission to receive that every cell in our body can move into greater levels of opening, of receiving divine love in our bodies and expanded into our energy field, so that we can be these beautiful mirrors to others of human possibility. So you can be a fearless warrior leader in this by taking on yourself, your issues with yourself, your issues with how you see the world, how you see God, whatever it is that needs healing. Just know it's all possible. Nobody's stuck. Nobody's trapped. Nobody's a victim. We all have choices in the moment. We sometimes are victimized by others. Great harm has been done by others, and we become a greater victim if we don't forgive, because that energy just keeps coming like a boomerang. And we have to remember that if you've not had very many incarnations as a human being, learning how to forgive can be very challenging, because our egos are very strong. They want to survive. And it feels, to some people, they've told me, that if they were to forgive others, that they would be less powerful. They would have less of a hand in their life by being forgiving, by being kind, by being compassionate. When actually the opposite is true. It gives you greater strength, greater wisdom, greater love, and a greater ability to kind of go over the situation and to see it from a higher perspective. But it's learned. So remembering not to judge yourself too heavily if you found that you've been in unforgiveness toward others, or that you can't you might have been forgiving some and not others because the pain was too great. So just like yesterday, we want to remember to invoke the divine or God in you to do the forgiving with you, for you, in all the places you've been unable or unwilling to forgive. So there's lots of reasons people can't forgive. There can be small and they can be huge. And the test as we move into greater light is that the test comes small in the beginning, like tiny betrayal. Somebody steals your money. a little bit of money. Somebody takes something that's not theirs and it's yours and they take it. People betray you by telling lies about you, hurting your feelings, saying mean things to you, making fun of you. Even those can hurt to the core of your essence. They still need to be forgiven. But then there's way bigger things. People raping you, people, taking all of your livelihood, people taking your inheritance from your family, people harming your children, stealing your children, people maiming you, torturing you. Those things get harder and harder and harder to forgive. It's like when you practice the art of forgiveness in these different bodies, it's like the ante goes up. Can you also do this one? Can you also do this one? So know that if you didn't pass all those tests with flying colors, it's okay. Right now we're at this juncture on the planet where mercy and grace is coming in like floodwaters. And it will help move this. So let's get busy today and do this now. So what I want to do is start with bringing in the colors that we need to do the forgiveness of others, getting our field ready. Then I will take you through the forgiveness process of how to forgive others and why. Mostly because it's a boomerang. It hurts you and it hurts them. Sometimes people know that you haven't forgiven them and they forgive you. They've already forgiven you for not forgiving them. And who's then stuck with the unforgiveness? You are. And the pain and the unrelenting, it's kind of like a boil that it festers and it doesn't heal. And so you have to decide how many boils do you want to be sitting on, essentially. So let's go do this. All right. Remember that you are the divine child of God. You are born in the image of the divine. It says so in all the sacred texts. So choose that, to embrace that. Even though you may not have experienced that, even though maybe no one has told you that. Go back to the self-forgiveness process. Go back to the forgiving God process. And the people who've harmed you this lifetime, use this process. And the sound and light language that will come later can support you in clearing that energy. All right, so let's do the whirling of the white light again. Make a tornado of white light around you. Allowing that white light to take off anything that's in the way of your receiving this transmission today and support with forgiving others. Good. Let it just keep washing any imprints of conversations or emotions or thought forms that you've had that may not have been kind, or maybe others have not been kind to you. Just allow that to be washed. Allow it to be cleared from you. And off into the light it goes. Just allow it to be neutralized. Okay, good. Take one more breath of white light in. And run it down you like a waterfall down to the bottom of your feet. Giving permission for whatever doesn't serve you to be pulled away. Good. Now, let's call in all your angels. Some of you have hundreds. Some of you have thousands. People who are levels 10 and up have 16,000 angels. That's what they've earned. People who are fully linked up, their entire spine is fully linked up to the fifth dimensional new earth. They have 24,000 angels to support them. And I know that sounds like a lot, but we need a lot at this time of transition on the planet so that we can move this heavy darkness that was here and create another dimension of light. So remember, we're like on a piano at one octave, raising to another, doing forgiveness work of yourself, of God, and of others, raises you up in frequency, assists you in moving up to that other octave of possibility on the piano or Mother Earth. Okay. So thanking your guides and your angels to love you, to support you. Give permission for the divine to fully be here, fully connected to you. Call your divine higher self into your energy field with you, consciously choosing to have it connect to your physical embodiment, to your heart, to your mind, to your emotions. Allow that energy to come in and connect with you. Give permission for the universe to support this process so you can get cleaned up. So we clean up the world. Every person who does their cleanup work, everything gets moved into neutrality. Then the world gets to be an easier place to live in. All right. Now we're going to go back to yellow again like we did yesterday and the day before. Third chakra is where we hold judgment or acceptance. So we're going to allow the entire spectrum of yellow to be made available to you. Any place that you have unforgiveness in your system, in your physical body, in your chakras, in your energy field, we give permission for the yellow light to be here. So it starts with an icy lemon yellow, and it gets to be a deeper and deeper lemon yellow, which is what moves any judgments, any condemnations, any negative thoughts, including curses. That helps to wash that off of you, okay? And then when we do the neutralizing process, it will start turning toward golden buttery yellow, and then to deep, deep, deep golden yellow light, like what we see, what we portray as the sun. That will then bring balance to that third chakra energy and move the energy of anger, resistance, unforgiveness, etc., toward acceptance, surrender, greater love. All right, so give permission for 1,000 to 4,000 feet, depending on your energy field. You don't need to know what you're capable of having. Just give permission for the yellow to be there in your energy field, connected to your body. Let it wash around you now. Let it get stable in your energy field to support you in this cleansing. Let it move through your physical body and your chakras. Good. And the next color we're going to bring in is orange. We haven't done that yet. So the reason that my guide said to bring in orange, so we're going to bring in from a very, very icy light peach to a deep, 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 like dark tangerine orange color. Orange is the second chakra, which is about creativity. It's about joy. It's about being connected to aliveness and allowing more joy in. And when we don't forgive others, when we're angry at others, when we condemn, judge, curse others, the amount of orange in our second chakra reduces hugely and in our field. So there's less joy, less aliveness, less availability to creativity because it's blocked with your thought forms. So let's give permission to the divine to bring anywhere from 1,500 to 4,500 feet of the entire spectrum of orange light, so that if you need 3 colors or if you need 19 colors, shades of the orange spectrum, that it's available for you at whatever level you are to be cleaning this up, receiving, and holding this new energy of love and joy in the creation of your being on the planet. Okay, here we go. Let's move that orange in. Great. Good job. Okay, now we're going to bring in the color royal blue. Again, that is the consciousness of God connected to the human soul and the body. And we want to give permission for that to expand anywhere from 3,000 to 7,000 feet, whatever your field capacity is. Just give permission to the divine to bring you as much as you can hold and allow it to expand after the forgiveness process, because you'll be able to hold more. Okay, let's do that. And just imagine this royal blue light either swirling around you and moving through your field, or letting it be like a shower of rain or a shower of being under a waterfall, and allow it to just fill your field, give permission for it to run through your body and into your cells and into your bones. And one of the reasons we want it in our bones, I know that sounds funny, and the marrow of our bones, from past lives, that is where the stuff is written, in our bones. And in the marrow's cellular memory there is what's written when we have cursed ourselves, God, or others. And it stays with us until we choose to clear it. So those are always internal roadblocks, and we don't understand why we're a really good person this lifetime. Why is all this crap happening to us, right? Well, when you start looking at the Akashic Records, all of a sudden it makes sense. And so we just want to know that we need to give permission for this to come. Okay. Allowing that royal blue light into your bones to change the energy that's there, to lift it to a higher frequency as we erase all of this. And then the last color, let's see, is it going to be the last color? Yes, until later. They're telling me to make a note to myself that we're going to do some throat chakra clearing and forgiving of misuse of your throat chakra later, but that's a different set of colors. Maybe I'll do a different, no, I'll do it here and I'll do it again in a separate unit. Okay, so let's give, for the last colors spectrum to come in, violet light. Remember the entire violet spectrum from light lavender to deep violet with fuchsia and magenta and all those colors in between. They are the colors of God's love and support for us on all levels. Physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. All those levels. And it has to do with supporting our physical reality, our abundance, our material sustenance. It has to do with the financial is kind of like the fuchsia section of it. The magenta has to do with relationships. And then the violet, the deeper violet, has to do with allowing the divine to love and support you in the body. And so many of us have not given permission for that, or feel that we aren't worthy or valuable of that. So just give permission now to the divine to bring that in, to love and support this process so you can open more to greater love. Okay, I'm going to grab a little water. All right, they're telling me everybody's fields are set. So remember, what we're forgiving is things we've not been able to forgive, or it wouldn't be in your field. We're forgiving any harm that someone has done to you, either verbally, physically, emotionally, or spiritually. If people have tortured you in other lifetimes and you haven't forgiven that, let's forgive that now. If people have raped you in this lifetime or in other lifetimes, or people have tortured you in this lifetime, it's time to forgive that and release it. And let the God in you help you release it. Sometimes when people have done just horrific things to us, it is hard to forgive. And I'm going to give a raw example of myself so that I want you to know that I've been dealing with people's traumas now since the 80s, since I started working in the healing field, and started moving past life issues starting in the 90s, deep Akashic Record work starting in the early 2000s. So I'm very familiar with this territory. So I'm going to do a little quick story of how hard it was for me to fathom what happened to me. I was told in 2001 to not work for a week. And I was like, what? And they told me to go to the retreat center where I could meditate and be supported so that I could do some big healing. But they didn't tell me what it was I was going to be healing. So I'm driving up to Canada, up to the Surrey area, to go to the retreat center, and I only got and I live near Seattle, and I got as far as Arlington, and I couldn't sit anymore. My crotch was just hot. It was on fire, and I'm like, I can't sit to drive. What the heck is going on here? And I'm talking to my guides. Holy cow, tell me what is happening here. And they said, we'll tell you when you get up there. And I said, no way, I can't sit, I can't drive. I'm distracted, I'm in pain. What is going on? So they told me to pull off, which I did. And then they told me, past lives of having been gang raped as a healer, as a teacher, as a nun, and even as a male monk. I was horrified. And they said, you have got to go up to the spiritual place where you'll be supported, because you've condemned and cursed all these people who did this to you. And you have to go up there and do this big forgiveness work. Allow it to be released from your body and your energy field. Allow the memory of that to be cleaned up so that you can be more present and available to support those who need this very same kind of support in clearing this energy. And I know this is a pretty raw subject, but it can be that, and it can be people having mutilated you, disemboweled you, betrayed you, taken your children away from you, your livelihood, whatever it is. It all needs to go. There were entities and energies connected to this. I did a spiritual battle. Reminded me of Padre Pio, the Catholic priest who was very enlightened, and his time in his little room where he would come out with, he would look like he had scratches and stuff all over, and actually that happened to me. And when I was done every day, I was met by the caretakers of the retreat center, and I would just be held in her arms, and I was so enormously grateful for her tenderness, for her love to support me. So I want you to know that no matter what it is you've been through, in this body or in other bodies, we can move through that jungle and get into the light and be the light again and do the forgiveness. So in that case, of course, I couldn't forgive. I wanted to forgive, but I didn't know how to forgive those kind of atrocities. So I had to give permission to the God in me to do it. So right now, if you're conscious of what terrible things or unfortunate things have happened to you that you have a hard time forgiving, give right now the permission to the God in you to do it. Your energy field is all ready. So let's go, and I know you may have a hard time believing that you might have cursed others, but I gave you that example to know that people do when you get broken, when you get beyond the place where you can be in your sane mind, where you've gone mad from the abuse, that you have to have compassion for yourself. have to have compassion for others in this situation. And know that you can. In the arms of your angels, in the request to the divine within you and around you, get to the other side, into the light. So let me help you get there. All right, let's go. Field is intact, angels are intact. So, Mother, Father, God, Creator of all that is, we thank you for loving and supporting each one of these souls who are listening to this broadcast now and who are listening to it later, in clearing any unforgiveness toward others. We thank you for canceling any negative decree or oath or vow that might have been uttered, any and all judgments, any and all condemnations that they should suffer like they made you suffer, or have consequences for their behavior. And a good one is, I will never forgive them, and I pray that God never forgives them. That's a big one that comes up in sessions all the time with people that I work with. There's that much pain, there's that much anger. And you think, what a terrible thing, but of course they experience terrible things. So just know that all of it needs to be forgiven. Canceling any negative thought forms connected to others. Canceling all curses that others should suffer or go to hell or live in eternal hell for what they did, because a piece of you goes into that hell with them. They're not going by themselves. Your condemnation of sending them to hell or to suffer is as bad as what they did to you. I know it doesn't seem like it should be, but we are not helping the wheel of healing and opportunity for greater light within everyone without doing that. All right. So keep canceling those curses. Just give permission. So Mother, Father, God, Creator of all that is, we thank you for pulling and canceling all curses, all condemnations, all judgments, all negative oaths, vows, and decrees. We thank you for sending them all up into the divine's holy light, along with all entities that are holding the space of what needs to be released, forgiven, and canceled, all dark energies connected to those, all memories and all imprints and images from those lifetimes or those experiences in this lifetime or on other planes of existence. We thank you for sending all of it in a gigantic basket of whatever is not yet healed up into the divine light to be canceled. To be canceled and replaced with the divine's unconditional love for those who were the perpetrators of harm, and God or divine's unconditional love for you yourself who could not forgive or might have said things that were harmful. We thank you for sending everything into the light to be canceled and exchanged for unconditional love. Thank you for placing unconditional love to the perpetrators, to myself, and that I have unconditional love for myself and unconditional love for God, and that I choose to move into the divine alignment of unconditional love And where I cannot yet forgive or cancel, I can cancel all of this now, but where I am not able to do the full forgiveness, I give permission to the God in me to do it with me and for me, so that my choice is to move into the divine alignment of holy forgiveness. That is my choice, and the universe will support me in doing that. I thank the divine universe of love and light and God, the creator of all that is, to support me in canceling this, into forgiving others, so that the field between me and my divine self, between me and the divine in others, between me and God, or the divine that created me, is a place that is open to express love, to receive love. Take a few breaths in and just allow that energy to wash through you. Wherever all of this stuff is in your energy field, allow the light of God's love, the divine's love for you, the creator's love for you, to clear this energy up and move it into the light, to wash it off of you, to release it with gentleness for you and for the others. Good job. And now let's go to the God in others, those whom we had not forgiven or cursed, judged or condemned. Let's create a circle of love, and we thank them for being there with you in this beautiful circle of love. That they experience this forgiveness. That they be gifted the angels that they need to support and love them. And that we bow down to the God in them, and we thank the God in them. Just like you have a God in you or the divine in you, they have a divine in them. Whether they remember it or not is irrelevant. You have to remember it. Because you have to remember that you are divine and that you want to reflect that back out to the world. So we go to the divine in them and we thank the divine or God in them for forgiving us, for not being able to forgive them the atrocities or the betrayals or the abandonment or whatever pain they might have caused us. Unable to forgive that, and for having condemned them to suffer, or cursed them to suffer, or sent them to eternal hell for what they did. And I've done that with people, and it's redeemable and it's fixable. So know that if you've done that even in this lifetime, it's forgiven and forgivable. This is your time to do it right now. So that all these people who were the perpetrators in your life can be forgiven. So when you go to the God in others and you thank them for forgiving you, the forgiveness is instant and complete. And if you know that maybe you retaliated in some of those lifetimes and you might have been a perpetrator of harm as well, what you want to do is you want to go to the God in others and say, thank you for forgiving me for being a perpetrator, for harming you. And when you do that, you know that when you request from the divine in someone else, forgiveness is instant and complete. That is what I've been taught. That is what I've been shown. It is only our mind and our egos that holds unforgiveness and anger and resentment and anything that's unresolved in place. So just let it go. Give permission to let it go. Let the light of the divine's love for you and for others move into your field and wash this negativity out. Cancel, 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 cancel. All right, now we're going to change these programs. So Mother, Father, God, Creator of all that is, we thank you for pulling and canceling all of this stuff on all three levels, resolving it on the history level, resolving it in everyone's chakras and all chakra levels, sent into the light in exchange for an unconditional love. We also thank you for changing all of these programs in time and space, beyond time and space, throughout all planes of existence and all dimensions. So if we've not forgiven others, I choose in this moment in time on all levels of my soul to cancel any and all unforgiveness toward you. I choose to move into the alignment of holy forgiveness, and I forgive you in full, from the God of my being to the God of your being. And anyone that I've condemned to suffer, I cancel that condemnation from all levels of my soul, through time and space and beyond. And I choose instead to bless you. Bless your embodiment, bless your soul, bless you and the opportunity for you to have for healing and the opportunity for me to let go of whatever is in me that has held me separated from you. Because ultimately we are one. Love is about moving back into oneness and away from separation, back into wholeness. I choose to cancel all curses. If I've sent you to hell or eternal hell, I cancel that now. I choose to bow down to the God in you and forgive you on all levels of my soul. And where I can't, I give God permission to love and support me in doing that. And to seeing the divine in you exalted and the divine in me healed and exalted. Instead of causing any harm, I choose to now bless you. Bless your life in this body. Bless your life and soul in any other body that you might be in at this moment in time. Whether it's a physical body or an energy body, or in the astral planes or in the causal planes. I choose to do no harm. I choose to only bequeath love and healing and light to the God in me and the God in you, so that you and I both can be the expression of love and healing. So just feel that. Allow that release to come from deep within you, deep within your heart, in your throat chakra, where you misused your throat chakra to condemn others. Lifting that energy of release and freedom and blessing that comes from the third eye, your higher self and your connection to the divine. Breathing that in. Allowing yourself to move into freedom. Giving permission for the light of the divine's love to move through your chakras and heal this energy. Allow it to be washed away. Commit to doing your own prayers and devotional practices to bring balance and harmony to the core of who you are. taking the time to be quiet, allowing Divine's love to move into your body, to calm it, to allow you to move into your center, remembering who you are, remembering who someone else is. We can only heal the planet and the consciousness of mankind by healing ourselves. Doing this process just now enables you to do that. So we're going to do one more thing. And just know that, by the way, all those colors that we brought in earlier, the yellow, the orange, as you do your meditation practices and or prayers or chants, gratitudes and forgiveness over the next few weeks, know that this healing light of the yellows and the oranges will come in and bring harmony to your system, to your organs, to your glands, greater light into your energy field. It will keep coming. So right now what we're going to do is clear our throat chakra. So we've done self-forgiveness work, forgiveness of God, and now forgiveness of others. And actually I should have done using, forgiving and misusing your throat chakra. I will do a separate segment on this after this today. And I'll post it on Facebook as well as on YouTube. So let's do this. Let's bring in, blue is the throat chakra color. When we've misused our throat chakra, the colors that we need to help heal that are turquoise, aqua, teal, marine, blue-greens, as well as sky blue, which is when it's balanced. So let's give permission to the divine within us to ring all those colors in. And let's right now forgive ourselves for having misused our throat chakra to harm others. And then inadvertently, like a boomerang, we harmed ourselves. So thank you, God, our Creator and Divine, for pulling and canceling the program of I know forgive myself for having misused my throat chakra to condemn, judge, curse, abandon and betray others, and abandon and betray myself and the God in me. We thank you for pulling and canceling this unforgiveness and misuse of the throat chakra on all three levels, resolving it on the history level, resolving it in our chakras and all chakra levels as divinely ordained within me, within the divine that lives within me, the God that lives within me. We thank you for sending this energy pulled and canceled up into the divine light of love, sending all entities and energies and memories, imprints, up into the light with it to be canceled and released and exchanged for the divine's unconditional love for me and the healing of my throat chakra. I give permission for every color that I need to bring balance and healing to my throat chakra, to do that in divine timing, in divine order, under divine will and divine guidance. Thank you. And so it is. Now we have one more forgiveness to do, and that is to forgive ourselves for not having been able to forgive others. So here we go. So Mother, Father, God, Creator of all that is, we thank you for pulling and canceling the program of I know forgive myself for not being willing or able to forgive others and having condemned, judged, made negative oaths, vows, or decrees, or cursed others. I thank the God in me to pull and cancel that on all three levels in my chakras, sending everything up into the divine's holy light along with the entities, energies, images and memories up into the light of the divine to be canceled, released, and exchanged for the divine or God's unconditional love for me and my unconditional love for myself. Thank you, God or divine. So it is. Can you feel that clearing your body? Can you feel the movement in your bones? Your field might be very, very busy right now, trying to move all of this energy. Just know that it can sit with you for many days ahead. If you have a lot of people to forgive, if you're aware that you're not forgiving, go back to this video and use it to forgive others, yourself. Good for you. Okay, so we're going to need to do the light language now to support this so that we can create that corridor to make this easier for you. Hold on. And I call in my spiritual higher self, and whoop, I think we got this. Let me see here. Can you see my hands? Oh, I'm not sure which way I need to move. I think that's good. Okay, so here we go. Let's let the divine within us make us open and receptive to what the sounds of this love light language are that will transmit opening, support, and healing to you. You make the choice to be open to receiving. Here we go. Aiomo atu kea asai. Omo asatayakoa so. Amanaya kaya omono. Eso tu ata omonoa. Kaya oso tuai. Satakeyo omonoa. Ketai. Asa sayamono satai eto. Kaya oso toa amanasoe. Ea omo kata. Ea omo kata osoa. Eto asatia motokoyoani. Ataya saya. Atai otu amana. Keo oso monoai. Taya omonosoka. Taya oso tu. Ati. Atakaya oso wamana. Otuai esa. Emono wata. Keo omono wasi. Otuana. Kaya asataya omono wasa kaya omono wata. Say omono wata. Say omono wata. Kaya a monoa te asi. Omonosoa te kataya monoai. Asaya. Omonokoa, ati, otu, asa, omono ataya. Omono atai, otu, asi, ata. So the translation is as follows. closer here. You are the divine light of love and God. I am the divine light of love and God. I forgive both of us for forgetting that that is who we are. I thank the God or divine in me for forgiving me my forgetfulness. I pray that the God in you forgives me my forgetfulness. I forgive myself for having fallen prey to the darkness of the mind and the ego, and forgetting that in every cell of my being, you and I are one. I give permission to the divine or God in me to move this dark, heavy energy out of me, to release those memories and wash them clean. I thank the divine in me for clearing the misuse of my throat chakra to be a blessing to others instead. I choose to use my throat chakra wisely, carefully, purposefully, and with love. May I practice compassion to myself for my forgetfulness and allow myself to grow in each moment, in each day, into a grander, bigger self than I could ever have imagined, by letting go of the experiences of pain and suffering and anchoring myself in the truth that out of this illusion comes the light of truth and love. And that is a gift. My beautiful spiritual teacher, Kirpal Singh, was looking at us, loving us, and I couldn't help but smile during this, because I felt the joy of his support and the joy of my connection to my divinity. I pray that you will have that gift as well. Open yourself up to the possibility. It is here. You and the divine or the creator are one. You choose how open you want your heart to be, to receive, to give, to love, to share, and to be the light. Thank you for being with me. And just one more thing about tomorrow. So tomorrow, let's see, I wrote down what they're going to work on tomorrow. Kind of big deal. Tomorrow, day 9 of the Cosmic Wave of Love. By the way, I'm going to keep doing these lives until they tell me to stop. I might change the time, but I will be doing lives for probably another week or so. So it's living and moving into your warrior self, learning to trust your own inner knowing, you knowing and connecting to your internal compass of knowing what is true for you and honoring that. And then we help you with opening the corridors within you to fearlessness and to your inner knowing with the love light language. So that's the agenda for tomorrow. And then I'm also going to probably, let's see, tomorrow is the 29th. On the 30th, I mean, is that a good idea? No, they're saying the 31st. I'm not sure what we're doing tomorrow. But on the 31st, I'm going to be talking about everybody's got a different level of spiritual energy field. And so how much you're able to integrate this last 9 days and the days to come, because it's getting greater and greater light as we're moving forward for those who are wanting to receive that. What the percentages are of you being able to receive. It doesn't really matter, but some people want to know. So I'll be willing to share that. And just know that wherever you are, it's a choice to keep choosing love and to be open to receiving. I hope all of you will remember the beautiful light that you are. Forgive yourself. Have compassion for yourself. Big compassion. Big, big, big compassion. And love yourself. Have a brilliant day. From my heart to yours, may the love of the divine flood you with joy and allow orange light to dance through your field and your body. Bye-bye. Take care.